Hey everyone, Michael from Xano here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to do an internal data migration. So what does that mean? So oftentimes we see people importing or bringing data over from different data sources, and potentially they have some sort of external ID or field that connects different tables, but they want to be able to create a Xano table reference, so an internal table reference to connect these tables. So let's take a quick example here. I have a company table here, and you can see there's this external ID with all these long characters, right? And then we have our projects table over here, and this also, you'll notice, has that same external ID. So what we want to be able to do is we want to, based on these matching external IDs between tables, create a Xano table reference in order to connect these tables. So the first thing I'm going to do here in this project table is I'm just going to add a table reference to that company table, because that's where I want to make that internal table reference to. Okay, so now that we have that set up, I'm going to go create a function in Xano. I'm going to hit add new function here. Let's just call this demo. And if anyone's not familiar with functions in Xano, they have the same exact setup as the no-code API builder. They're just a place where you can either have sort of like a private API because they have no URLs, or if you want to create reusable logic to insert it into different endpoints or background tasks, functions are a great use case for that. But okay, let's go ahead and now talk about what we're going to do here. So the first thing I want to do is going to query those records from the company table. Okay, and I'm also going to do the same thing from our project table. Now keep in mind, if you have thousands of records, you might want to introduce some paging because you don't want to be querying all those records at one time. Obviously, I just have a few records in here. Just something to keep in mind if you have a very large data set. So now that we have the records of both our company table and project table, I'm going to go ahead and do a loop here. So I'm going to go to data manipulation, loops, and do a for each loop. And I'm going to loop through our project table. And I'll just call this project here and go ahead and hit save. And so now we're going to iterate through each one of those project records. And then within that loop, I'm going to go into data manipulation and go to our array functions here and do this find first element, which finds the first matched element. And the array we're going to look through is actually going to be the company table. And now that we are looking through that array here, I'm going to go into this expression. And when we're using these array functions, we use the variable this that takes place of the array that we're looking through. So in this case, it's company. So I'm going to go ahead and say where this, and I can use dot notation on this to say the external ID is equal to, and that looped variable project, and once again dot notation, and we'll just say external ID here. And I'll go ahead and save that, and we'll name this variable matched here. So what this find first element does here, it's going to search through this company table for the external ID and look for the first match to this specific iteration of the project records external ID. And it will spit out the first matched object. So we can take that and now go to database requests, and now let's go ahead and edit our record in the project table. So here, first thing is to make sure we're looking up the right field. So we'll go ahead, the field value here is going to be our looped variable project. Just use dot notation for ID. And now we just want to update this company ID field. So I'm going to unhide this, and we can get that ID from our match variable. And once again, using dot notation, say dot ID and make sure it says var right there. I can go ahead and save that. So once again, first thing we're doing, querying all records from company, also querying all records from project, we're looping through our projects table. For each iteration, we are going to find the first element where the external ID in the company table is equal to the specific external ID of the iteration of the project that we're doing. And then we're just going to update the record with the ID that we found. So I can go ahead and run this. And when I do that, right here, we're just returning company 1. But let's go ahead and jump to the database now and look at our project table. And you'll see all of my table references have now been created. So let's actually, check if that was correct. So let's see here. We have Adams and Associate. It looks like it's D36 is what it starts with. So let's go back to company here and let's find Adams and Associates, and it is D36. So there you go. That's how you can create a internal table reference using the function stack and taking two matched fields that might be coming in from an outside source. And we can even see here, if we do the show table references now, we can see that project and company is in fact matched up. So hopefully you found this video was helpful, especially if you're bringing in data from an outside source and you want to create a internal table reference within Xano. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and like it and subscribe to our channel. It just helps other people find this content. Thanks for watching.